Terry Zwigoff's 1995 documentary, Crumb, is a fascinating portrait of Robert Crumb, one of the most influential and controversial comic artists in America. The film is a psychoanalytical exploration of the artist's subconscious influences, with interviews with Crumb and his disturbed brothers, revealing how his troubled childhood impacted his creations. Zwigoff does not shy away from showcasing R. Crumb's most shocking material, which contains extremely misogynistic and racist imagery. He interviews several individuals, including art critic Robert Hughes, former editor-in-chief of Mother Jones Deirdre English, and cartoonist Trina Robbins, to gather a variety of different perspectives on his body of work. Through the documentary, a question is posed. Where is the line between satire and uncritical representation? In this video essay, I will argue that the film reveals the muddled definition of satire in art through its discussions of the sexist and racist themes in R. Crumb's cartoons. Robert Hughes, as well as some of Crumb's male contemporaries in the indie comics scene, defend the recurring themes of rape and male domination over women in his art as satire of the American social order and the unspoken hierarchies within it. In contrast, the women featured in the documentary tend to see his work as compulsive expressions of his resentments toward women and his desire to have power over them. When asked for his take on this issue, R. Crumb admits that these women are probably right.
I have these hostilities toward women, I admit it. It's out in the open, I have to put it out there, you know?
This raises the question of why the men interviewed were so adamant that Crumb was not engaging in self-indulgent power fantasies, and willing to wave off his work as nothing more than satire. When asked to defend the sexism in his art, Crumb cannot. He admits that his comics about rape fantasies come from a compulsive need to release these images from his subconscious, as is the case in most of his creations. However, when it comes to his racist comics portraying Jim Crow-era racial stereotypes, he dismisses any criticism offhand as only coming from white liberals. Crumb's stereotypical representations of African Americans can be viewed as part of his satire of 1920s to 1950s America. However, the film also makes it clear that he carries a lot of nostalgia for that time period, when he discusses his distaste for modern consumer culture and the hippie movement of the 60s and 70s. If we analyze the creations shown in the documentary, as Crumb encourages us to do, it is difficult to find any evidence that these caricatures stem from anywhere but genuine racist impulses, or, at the very least, nostalgia for the stereotypes of Jim Crow-era Americana. If this is satire, whom is it targeting, and what is its purpose? It's clear that Terry Zwigoff does not believe that his friend Robert Crumb is an entirely racist or sexist person. I don't believe that he is either. I believe his late wife, Aline Kominsky Crumb, when she says that he does not act upon his sexist impulses in his day-to-day life. And I believe his friends when they say that he has respect for the Black community. However, I am critical of those who dismiss criticism of his art by calling it satire, as I think that they often misuse this word and water down its meaning.
And I just hope that somehow revealing that truth about myself is somehow helpful. I don't know, I just hope that it is, but I have to do it. You know, maybe I shouldn't be allowed, maybe I should be locked up and my pencil's taken away from me. I just don't know, I really can't say, you know.